Hello, class. This is your instructor, Pranati Anamala, and this is a recording for assignment 4, and the topic is correlation analysis. The other video will cover association rules. So, um, association rules and correlation was part of module 4, but where this video and the association rule video is just for a guidance or a demo for your assignment. And I have listed the files in the assignment instructions. And this, I think the data I will be using in this video probably is not included in your data set, but yeah, there's plenty for you to work on. So what I have here is a set that a data set that contains the employee reviews of the company Microsoft at different locations around the United States, and they were taken in 2017. I got this data from Kaggle, but I went back and looked for it, but I didn't find it. So I just provided a link for you to read what is the data about. So in this particular assignment, all you have to do is just talk about what do you see. You don't really have to cite the source or tell me about the attributes. So we need to focus more on the analysis part, like what is correlation and what did you exactly find, because I will give you the instructions to do the whole assignment. So my goal is for you to understand really the results and be able to interpret it. We're going to do part text mining and some correlation. So here's what we'll do first. When I'm trying to load. Okay, this is in the way. Okay, I'll go back to design. You can forget about these here. Let me remove it. So the first thing I did was try to import the data. So when you download it from Canvas, that'll be somewhere in your downloads or wherever you save it. So click on my computer and then try to locate the file, and try to the best of your ability to save it in under data folder, because I always keep it, and it sort of like keeps the data organized, and when it comes to saving the process, you can save the process separately in a different folder. So RapidMiner has got it sorted. So I would say do that for convenience. And then once you've done that, if you right click on it and click edit, what I want you to notice is that Microsoft, or the word Microsoft, and other fields, that they have to be in a specific data type. Microsoft is supposed to be a text. The type is written in parentheses. So this is text, and here it's a date. And then if we scroll a little to the right, these numbers are supposed to be integers. So I have already imported this data, so I imported it and saved it. So you might see that I already have text here, but you might have it as polynomial. So what I want you to do is go ahead, wherever you see text, go ahead, right click on the column name and click on modify attribute and set the attribute type to text. So that's all you have to do. And after you've changed it for all the text attributes, make sure you click on save, because it just solidifies your actions. And if you close it without saving, none of the changes that you've made get saved, and you'll end up with errors. So just keep in mind. And my cover is the same in association rules, so too much of repetition. So, all right, so let's just try to drop. I'm clicking on the name of the data and then trying to drag and drop it onto the canvas. And the next thing I'll do is, like we just noticed, in this particular video, I'm going to do correlation. So for correlation, my focus is only on the numerical attributes of this data set, which are just ratings of that employees have given to the company based on their culture, I think work-life balance and other work ethics. So we can take a look at it in just a second. So what I'm going to do is try to select attributes. So I'll go to the operators window and just type select. And the first thing I get under selection is select attributes. I'll drag and drop it onto canvas and try to make sure I connect the semicircle to the semicircle of the next operator. So EXA is usually example set. So when you hover over it, RapidMiner will give you a little snapshot of what it actually contains. So the output of this data is an input to the operator select attributes. So like I said before, I want to select just a couple of attributes to do my correlation. So I'll go ahead to attribute filter type and then click on subset and then click on select attributes. So wherever you see this hashtag, that means they're numerical. So just to save time, I'm just going to select all the numericals wherever I find the hashtag and then move them on to my right side. These become my selected attributes. So then I click apply and let me show you what I got. Just click on the blue button, which will run the process for me. So in my first row, I have overall, I have 4,500 examples. And then, whoops, I want it here, okay. And then these are all the ratings that employees have given to the company Microsoft. Overall rating, work-life balance, and cultural values, career opportunities. I think compensation, benefit, this is senior management, and helpful count. So you can see that there are question marks, there are missing values in some of the rows. That means that people who've taken the survey have given an overall rating, but have not given individual stars under those categories. So the way I've decided to deal with this, I want to filter this whole row if even one value is missing. So for that, I'm going to go back to operators and then click on filter examples. And another thing, this just popped up. So you can additionally do a little bit of like cleaning called remove duplicates. So let's try that as well, but you don't have to do it, but it's good to know. So since you've already filtered some attributes and you select attributes, so those are the ones that go into remove duplicates, so we don't have to change anything here. And let me connect this EXA to filter examples. Now I want to filter, let's see, no missing. Okay, I want to take out those rows which have missing values in them. So let's say no missing attributes and connect it to the output. Let's see what it does. Okay, now it was filtered 1700. It's filtered to 1759 examples, which is still fine. You can do more or you can do less. But if you choose to keep the missing values, I think I found that the correlations are a little bit different. So I wouldn't really recommend it, but based on some of the attributes, I think helpful count, I didn't want it. Let's see, that makes any difference. Well, it's a little less now, less than before. Okay, it doesn't, it's all right. So we're gonna continue working on the next step. So once I've got my examples filtered, I'm gonna do correlation matrix and drop it on the canvas make sure I connect it and make sure you connect the output, which is the correlation matrix, to the end output. And I think normalize weights. Yes, that should be good. Okay, what have I got here? So we understand correlation that it is not causation. So I cannot conclude that, well, there's a overall ratings are dependent on work-life balance or cultural values. So that is an incorrect statement to say. You can only say that there is a positive correlation between overall ratings and work-life balance and cultural values and career opportunities because they have positive values under them. Because on the number line of correlation analysis, the correlation coefficient can range between -1 and 1. So in this case, we have all positive values. That means people have rated wherever they have given high overall ratings, they have given high work-life balance in a sort of a vague way, if I have to put it. But the coefficient is important. So that gives us how strong the relationship is. So this is what you will explain in your report, and then maybe talk about a little more visualization of this. If you can represent, you can use this in your report as well. But then mainly, what I want to know from you is basically your understanding on how these attributes are related to each other, and how do you interpret the correlation matrix in the context of what employees have given to the company Microsoft. And you can be creative as you want by changing the attributes to just I think sort of like filtering by date or by job title, making those categories, and then trying to create different reports for it. That sort of thing you can do. And one other thing I wanted to just to show you what happens if I add a helpful count, because I didn't really see a lot of values because the Excel sheet had like zeros in it. So what happens if you put missing values to 0 is that it just decreases the count, and in my opinion, it's not the appropriate result. It doesn't give us the right result. So when I added the helpful count, this gives me a negative correlation between the overall rating. I think in every attribute, it is negative. So helpful count gives me a negative correlation with every other attribute. But it's very minor. The coefficient is here, in this case, it's almost 0. So if you want, you can dig in a little more deeper into it, but I think this is all I require from correlation matrix. So yeah, you will be taking a screen capture of this diagram whenever you have it in the end, and then just let me know if you've tried multiple things about select attributes, and you've selected different criterias. Just like imagine how you did with your Excel and the data goals. So you could do something similar in this assignment, in this particular analysis as well. Same applies to association rules. That video is a little older, so that probably has a little more details. But then it's a little different from this, because here we're doing numerical analysis, but in association rules, we'll focus more on text analytics. That's it from me now. Thank you.